Uh, I have no idea why, but for some reason I've tried recording this already 2 other times, and it just, one thing or another, something goes wrong. It's been requested quite a bit by people wanting to know the way I built my Frieza race character, and I was ready to give examples of it in the last video I put up. I showed me throwing Blue Hurricane on the Great Apes and downing them in no time. I had completed the quest in under a minute. That's including the Time Patroller. This time I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't have the patience for it right now, but I want to keep my promise, and I told people I'd put this up, so I'm going to put it up. With the Frieza Race character, I'm using the Ultimate F-Suit primarily because it's the best bang for your buck. There's one upgrade, but you don't actually end up getting much of an upgrade from it. You end up losing a little bit. I think it's in stamina, which is pretty crucial. I wouldn't want to give that up, so I stuck with the Ultimate F-Suit. The Ultimate F-Suit gives you a major bonus to your stamina, basic attack, and strike supers. Ki blast supers are down, your ki and your health are down, but you move a hell of a lot quicker than everybody else as is. So as long as you play it smart, you should be fine. Keep in mind, this is all based towards my playstyle, so when people see me do decent at all, it's my playstyle. The Z-Soul I picked is one that's actually, it took me a little while to get, but it's worth it if you look at the stats alone. Ironically, it's for Cell's second form, but he's not in the game. The little trick to this is it activates after taking a certain amount of damage, I've noticed. And if you let your damage drop too much, then you end up getting a debuff on it, and then all your stats go down, which it means you're dead. So what I tend to do is I take a little bit of damage off the bat. I like to open up with a pose, take a little bit of damage, and then I pop a heal. And as long as you have crossed that threshold where it activates, it'll stay there as long as your health stays up. So that takes care of those. The accessory obviously means nothing. I used to have them in a Hercule wig too, because who doesn't want to see an alien in an afro? Skill set Galagun is there just for the long range. Other than that, it doesn't do much. It doesn't even do much damage based on this build. It's more like that stun lock at a distance. Deadly Dance is a strike, and quite useful. It's actually won me a lot of fights because people, the way the move happens, a lot of people tend to block the initial strike, but then they let go thinking it's just one big kick, and it ends up catching them off guard. Fighting Pose B I try to open up every fight with, because this increases the damage of all your strike moves. Maximum Charge, obvious reasons, you want to get that key bar going as quick as you can. Blue Hurricane is arguably one of the best moves in the game right now, and that's with or without the downloadable content. So it seems to be standing the test of time that way. It's still a surefire way to go. I use this actually to down the Great Apes in under a minute. So as long as you cast this properly, you're fine, and it also gets the buff from your striking. Victory Rush, another strike move. This is just one of those staple combos everybody's got to have in their arsenal. It's not hard to get. I actually think you can buy it from the moveless vendor there. Doesn't really matter how you cast it, as long as you cast it, it's going to do phenomenal damage. Angry Shout is a controversial one. I know a lot of people tend to go other ways with this. I chose Angry Shout because it's an interrupt. It's not even so much an evasive skill for me, it's more of an interrupt. When people are charging, when they're coming towards me, when they're in the middle of a combo, whatever else, get that Angry Shout out, and not only does it interrupt them, but it actually pushes them back, which opens you up for, usually for me at that point, I'll go Angry Shout, then Victory Rush, and then that'll knock them back a little bit, Gallic Gun at the range, and then I'll pose up again. My attributes, now these are subject to change, at least one of them. I tend to play to the strengths of the gear and not compensate for the weaknesses. So as the Ultimate F-Suit gives you stamina, so basic attacks, and strike supers, I want to try to keep it around there. Basic attacks, I might end up reformatting all this and giving basic attacks a bit more Ki, I'm not entirely sure why I went there. The Frieza racial ability gives you speed, and your initial Ki blast has a chance to paralyze people. To be completely honest, you play ranked matches, then the pros are just going to dance around that anyway. So I don't see how that's viable anymore. At the beginning of the game, people weren't expecting it, so nowadays everyone's going for those quick combos. So Ki might end up coming out. Ultimately what you're going to see me do is stamina, just these three right here, to keep going with the gear. And strike supers for obvious reason. You want all the damage you can get from your Blue Hurricane, Deadly Dance, and the only one of my moves that you don't farm from an actual mission is Deadly Dance. You get that from mastering everything with Android 18. Actually, it might not be mastering, it might only be... because mastering, I think, is her Destructo disc. So yeah, actually that's the base of the build. Keep in mind, I'm only level 83, and I'm walking through just about everything. I did have an example prep for you guys. It's just, given everything that happened, I'm not going to do it again. Not right now, at least. Yeah, so once I hit cap, then I'm sure I'll be doing a hell of a lot more damage. There might even be gear changes down the road, but as it is right now, this is the way I've got everything going, and I'm not having many issues. I went into the last Broly mission without the DLC, the last Broly mission, and I 3-shotted him with Blue Hurricane. That's 3 shots through the entire story there. So from the beginning to Bardock's entrance to Vegeta's entrance, all that. So one individual Blue Hurricane per scene, and he was dead. That tells you something, considering I'm pretty sure his level's in the 70s. Either way, guys, if you have any suggestions or improvements that you think would work, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. If anyone could actually answer me a quick question on that too, is there a perk to getting the, besides the level cap, to getting the DLC packs? Or is it just going to be another endless grind for me? I just came back into the game. Last time I had it was on the PS3, actually. Now I'm on the Xbox One. So yeah, if someone can let me know, is it worth it? Is it just a level grind? Am I getting new gear, new moves, new... let me know. It's a little bit of money, and if I don't have to spend it, I won't. I seem to be competing right now anyway, so... Alright, thanks a bunch. Take care, guys.